Hello Virgo, I am Ulrich. I am a Lenormand card reader, but this time we will use a financial deck for your card reading. The laying is done with three cards that you see here in front of me. You can also see four objects here on the table, meaning we will do four card readings for the sign of Virgo for the month of October 2021. And this video here is for, all four videos are for Virgo. Now, from these four objects, you choose or you pick one that you think relates most to your personality, or you choose one you feel most comfortable with. This object of your choice, it should or it will relate the best to your current financial situation or the advice that you are receiving from the cards regarding that financial situation. Of course, you can watch all four videos related to the Virgo sign, and after you watched all four videos, then you can decide which symbol or object is fitting your personal card reading the best or your financial situation the best. The matches here represent the fire element, the stone represents the earth element, the aerosol sprayer represents the air element, and the shell represents the water element. So Virgo, here we go for your financial card reading for October 2021. Hello Virgo, and welcome to the shell or the water group for your financial card reading for October 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that on 27 September, Mercury started running retrograde up to 18 October, meaning this is not a good time for signing contracts, agreements, anything you need to put your name under for officializing. It's not a good thing to do. You will also see during that time your bus is late, your flight is canceled, emails don't come in your mailbox, they get lost. If you wait on packages at home, they are delivered wrongly, the containment is wrong. These are all things that are happening during Mercury retrograde. It's because our mind, the mind of all people, the collective mind, is working a little bit slower. It's also not a good time, for instance, for buying cell phones or household equipment like laundry machines. Why? These devices are connected to a contract, and on the contract there is a warranty, and sometimes afterwards there pop up problems with the warranty. Anyway, the general idea here is that you don't agree with any contracts at all. However, if for some reason you feel compelled, you have no choice, or you want to sign a contract, please double, triple check the fine print, because it's possible after you change your mind, you want to get out of the contract, you cannot anymore. And if you really want out, you need to pay a big fine, and we are in the circle. So the general idea here, or the best thing to do is during that period, is not to sign any contracts at all. Anyway, here we start now for our card reading for Virgo for the water group. The first card here, the general impression here of this card laying I'm seeing here is that this is about that we focus on ourselves on more savings for the future. Anyway, we go in the details now. The first card here is the card about discounts. Most people of us like to buy in discount. The more we get discount, the more happier we are, the more satisfied we are. We check out sections for the discounts and the liquidations in hope to find a beautiful piece of clothing or an object, maybe an electronic gadget or a stupidity. Anything goes as long as it's discounted and we can buy it for a ridiculous amount. Understand, of course, everything you buy an item, a discount item, you only get a good deal if it's really discounted. Some merchants are very smart and they add to the price and then they give you 70% discount. Of course, it's a real different perspective we get then. So don't be overwhelmed and bewitched by sales. Keep cool, question yourself, and check the price, of course, before you buy. Anyway, by always looking for discounts, in general, we spend a lot more money that we are intended or that we anticipated. And the question then, of course, is this really necessary? Also here, sometimes bulk buying is questioned. If you are a person who buys in bulk and then at the end of the month you catch yourself, you give everything away to your sister, brothers, or the neighbors. I don't say you cannot give gifts, but this was probably not your initial intention. That is my point. If we buy in bulk, we need to be able to consume it and not bring it to the recycle center or give away to our brothers or sisters. So this is also questionable with this card. Anyway, this card asks you to ignore the offered discounts and liquidations and improve your wallet for the next card, because here this group is urged to put on an automatic system, an automatic saving systems. I hope that you are aware of that you know how this works. I will explain. An automatic saving system is actually very simple. You have a certain amount left over at the end of each month, and the money stays just in your account. But instead of letting it in your account, you automatically transfer it in a savings account. It's like you give an automatic message in your laptop, and the money is automatically transferred on a certain date from your regular account to your savings account. This is what an automatic savings account is about. I'm sure you can do this, because else this card would not be here. So you establish a certain amount that you can miss amount. You start with an amount, and if you see you still have leftover, you can always adjust the amount for getting more, because here the point is that we gather some money and we save this money for a rainy day. Also here, if we do this, and also by regularly increasing these amounts over the years or over a year, you will quickly accumulate important sums of money. And maybe with this money, you can buy something that you really need, that you really want. Maybe you want to take a trip already for a long time. Maybe you want to make some adjustments in your house. So this card tells you to discipline yourself and begin the virtuous circle of saving and bring in more security for yourself and financial stability. The last card is about the immediate satisfaction. Some people get satisfied by buying, here the first card, high discounts, but also this card is related to it. Like we buy things and we get a feeling of satisfaction. But this card actually asks you, how long does this feeling of satisfaction last? You already know the answer, it don't last too long. Purchases of fleeting objects, they don't really satisfy us. It's only a short time. It's like for rewarding yourself, but it's not really something that satisfies us on the long run. Of course, if we follow the TV, all we need to do is buy and earn and work. So, and it's unthinkable that we could be fulfilled without being well dressed, having the latest shoes, the dream cars, the last electronic gadgets, designer clothes, whatever makes you happy. So we work harder, and if we buy all those things, we need to work even harder. We get stressed and we get the burnout. So this card tells you to relativize your life a little bit and find the feeling of satisfaction in other things. But how or what? Well, this card tells you probably it's not by spending money or by small purchases. These will not bring you fulfillments. This card tells you to pull yourself together, be aware of these nefast trends, and learn how you transform yourself. And maybe you can save up for something that really satisfies you, like the middle card tells here, and your life, your wallet, your stress will all be improving your general life. You will feel more happy. So here, this is what this card reading tells us: control your impulses, save money, and ignore discounts. So Virgo, this is all for the water group for this month. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. Please watch also my classic Lenormand videos you find on my channel. Anyway, thank you for watching. Thank you for spending your time on my channel, and we see each other soon. Thank you for now. Bye-bye. Hello Virgo, and welcome to the Aerosol or the Air group for your monthly card reading, this time for October 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that since 27 September up to 18 October, Mercury is going retrograde, meaning it's not a good idea to sign contracts, agreements, anything you need to put your name under that officializes it. It's not a good thing to do. You will also see that your flights are canceled, your bus is late, your emails don't show up, packages that need to be delivered in your home are wrongly delivered, the containers is wrong. These are all things that are happening during Mercury retrograde. Also during that time, it's not a good idea, for instance, for buying cell phones, like electronic gadgets, laptops, or even laundry machines. Why? These devices are connected to warranties and something can go wrong with the warranty. Anyway, the general idea here is that you don't engage in any contracts whatsoever. If, however, for some reason you decide to sign a contract or to make an agreement, please double, triple check the fine print, because it's possible after you change your mind, you want to get out of the contract and you cannot anymore. If you want to get out of the contract, you need to pay a big fine and the circle starts. So the general idea is that we don't sign contracts at all. Now, this being said, we go here ahead with your card reading. But the first card that we see here is the cards of, it's related to the use of our credit cards. And I see the second card here also, so it's probably here, excuse me, that the credit cards for this group are a little bit overused. The balance, as you see, it's going that way. So it's possible that the credit cards are overused. We spend too much money, or we spend money that we don't have. So this card asks us why. Well, if we don't stop spending money, we get into problems. Sometimes we get into debts. We come into difficult situations. And also, sometimes some of these credit cards, if we go below zero, they are very expensive. Most people don't realize that, but if you check on your invoices that you receive monthly, if you're below zero, just check the interests that you pay if you didn't pay the full amount back. These fees are enormous. Some credit cards are better than other, but some credit cards are real sharks. So they shark you. So you need to be careful with that. You need to realize if you go below zero and this stays for a certain time, this will cost you a lot of money. Here, this card says to balance out your things. And if you actually would, because this card is also about that, live beyond your means, you need to try to balance yourself out. I'm only reading what the cards are saying here. So this month, you need to take up the task, this card says, for trying to balance yourself out. Here then the second card is about the balance in our life. Here probably you work hard and you are waiting probably for a pay raise, or there are some things coming your way, because this is what this card is about. And you probably think that your life will improve. You can pay your credit card debts or whatever that is outstanding. And you think that your life will improve because of your bonuses or whatever that is coming in your life, the financial advantages. This card tells you to think twice. Mostly if we receive an increase of salary, it's not the greatest good that is coming to us. Regardless of what we earn, our annual salary, what makes us improve financially is the ability to adjust our expenses according to our income. So an increase of salary in general has very few positive effect on the way we advance. So this is often, unfortunately, often the case. So we don't actually advance. Sometimes even it goes in the opposite direction. So this card tells you here to take authority over your expenses, put the balance where it should be, and limit yourself. So this card asks you to invest your efforts to a better management of your daily expenses in relationship to what you earn. After you are balanced out, you can then focus on this increase of salary. So then you will have a better chance of improving your overall situation. The last card here is the card. It is about evolution. The progress is part of life. And over the years, we evolve. All decades are not the same. So 20 years ago, for instance, you would find it abnormal that you paid for certain services that we have now, or they would not even exist yet, these services. For instance, internet, it's not existing 30 years ago. So our expenses and our needs are increasing or changing. So here this card tells you that probably in this group you have some things that no longer are useful for you, and maybe you need to eliminate these unessentials. Maybe, for instance, a simple example is if you have or if you no longer receive calls at home, you only use your cell phone. What is the purpose of your landline? So maybe you can cancel this number if you don't use it. For instance, if you have a subscription on certain magazines, you should consider if it's not making you certain savings if you do it virtual online. Sometimes it's up to 50% cheaper if you are into that. These are simple examples that can stop you. Also for credit cards, some credit cards are very expensive. You need to check that one also, as we said earlier. And also what is interesting sometimes is online banking. Some banks are very expensive. Why? Because they have branches, and on internet banks don't have branches. So if you work with internet banks, sometimes you can save up to $500 to $1,000 a year. Why? Because the only thing you pay there is your card and your fixed annual amount. But since they have no branches, it's much cheaper. This is what this card about. You need to follow the trends of evolution if you can. So Virgo, for the air group, this is all for this month. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. Please check out also the other videos on my channel, the regular Learnerman videos. Thank you for spending your time on my channel, and we see each other in my other videos. Thank you for watching. Bye-bye. Hello, Virgo, and welcome to the stone or the earth group for the month of October 2021 for your financial card reading. Before we start, I want to mention that on 27 September up to 18 October, Mercury started running retrograde. It's not a good time for signing contracts, agreements, anything you need to put your name under that, officialize it. It's not a good time to do so. Also, you will see that your bus is late, your flight is canceled, packages that need to be delivered on your home are not showing up, they are delivered in a wrong place, your emails don't arrive, your internet disconnects. These are all things that are happening frequently during Mercury retrograde. Also, it's not a good idea, for instance, for buying cell phones or laundry machines. Why? These devices are connected to a contract, and the contract represents a warranty. And as you understand, there could pop up problems in that area. Anyway, the general idea here is that we don't sign contracts at all during the period if we can avoid that. However, if for some reason we feel obligated, we have no choice, we feel compelled to do so, please double, triple check the fine print. Because it's possible after you change your mind, you want to get out of the contract for personal reasons, you didn't read certain clauses in the contract, you want to get out. If you want to get out, you need to pay a big fine, or you cannot get out anymore at all. So be wise before you begin this. So my advice would be to you not to sign any contracts at all. Anyway, we start with the card reading now for the stone group. The first card here, the general idea I have here is that for this group is that we need to become aware how we spend our money more, and that we need to make distinctions between what we really need and what is luxuries. So the first card here that we see here is the card of youth. What does this mean? Well, you know the diction that says boys will be boys and girls just want to have fun. So probably sometimes you justify this this line by being a little bit wild with money, let's say it like this. But afterwards, sometimes we are confronted with the consequences of our outburst if we buy a little bit without thinking about it. We are not aware, we are a little bit wild. And this card is about awareness that we need to create. Normally, we get more wiser as we get older with money. But this card tells you you need to let your conscience work for this group. It's like you need to take control over your spending drift. As we get older, we get more in control. It's the normal circle of life, but some people, some younger people have more easy control over these things compared to others. So this card asks you, are you already mature despite your age, or do you still spend money like a young girl or like a young boy? So this card asks you if you still have outbursts, financial outbursts, to control these outbursts. Remember, we are never too young to be financially mature, and we are never too old to change our financial behavior. If you have the advantage of youth and at the same time you are financially mature, this card tells you your efforts soon will be rewarded. If you have the assets of being older and wiser and experienced, use those abilities in your advantage. Enjoy life's little gifts with moderation, and you will have rewards soon. The second card is about here, our conscience, awareness. It's a little bit in the same line. Here, this card asks us to transform our behavior. We need to become more aware. We need to reflect of our situation. We need to improve our situation. And how can this happen? Well, you are in control, so you are the architect. You are the one who is in control. We can hope for better days, but you are the one who has the initiative. You can stay status quo, you can stay as you are, or you can adjust yourself and think maybe that their rainy days might come in the future, or take under consideration that unforeseen events might come in your way. We never know what is coming these days, so this card tells you it's time to reflect. How we do this? Well, maybe you can, for instance, write down what you like about your current condition and what you don't. List your future and present fears, also hopes that you have, make a plan of action. This is what this card is about. So take a step back, take an overview, see where you are, and think where you want to go. So here this card tells you you need to control, because maybe one day you will need a savings account. And if you do so, this could maintain your life standard at that period. The last card here is the card of things that we actually need, the real needs in life. We are all individual, and we all spend our money in a different way. Of course, we all need the same basics needs, but this is what this card is about. What do we really need in our daily life and existence? What is really essential? So this card tells you to compare your situation and see what is fundamentally necessary and what is an option. You need to analyze your situation, this card says, and you need to distinguish what you are obligated to buy and what you desire to buy. So here, this card asks you to make an analysis of this situation and identify what is essential and what is luxury for you. Probably, if this card is here, there are some unnecessities sometimes that you buy, and if this card is here, it's probably that you can do without them. If you eliminate these unnecessities, then your financial health will improve. So try to avoid unnecessary luxurious purchases. Of course, they have a place and a time, but if you wait until the right time, you will feel more satisfied. This is what this card is about. If you wait until the right time, you will be surprised how much more you will enjoy these luxurious gifts that you want to purchase for yourself, if you put them in a certain planning and if you are conscious about what you're doing. So, Virgo, for the Stone Group, this is all for this month. I hope you liked this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. Please watch also my other traditional Lenormand videos we do every month. Thank you for spending your time on my channel, and thank you for watching my videos. See each other next time. Bye-bye for now. Thank you. Hello, Virgo, and welcome to the matches or the fire group for the month of October 2021. Before we start, I want to mention that since 27 September, Mercury is going retrograde up to 18 October. This is not a good time for signing contracts, agreements, anything you need to put your name under. It's not a good thing to do. You will also see that your emails are not showing up. Packages that need to be delivered at your home are showing up at wrong destinations. Your flight is canceled. You are delayed. You're in the traffic jam. This is all happening more frequently when Mercury is going retrograde. Also, it's not a good idea, for instance, for buying cell phones or laundry machines. Why? These devices are connected to a contract, and the contract is connected to the warranty, and there could be problems popping up there in that area. So the general idea here is not to sign any agreements if you could avoid that. If, however, you decide to sign a contract, please double, triple check the fine print, because it's possible after you change your mind, you want to get out of the contract, you cannot anymore, and if you want out, you need to pay a big fine, and we are in a vicious circle, so it's better to avoid these situations. Anyway, coming back to the card reading for Virgo, for the fire group, the first card here is that we need to protect here ourselves to the irregularities in life, or prepare ourselves for if the times become less prosperous. What does this mean? Well, we always in our life, we have rainy days, we have storms. Even when it comes to money, it's not really realistic if we think that we don't need to prepare ourselves for some irregularities in life. This card asks you if you have some rescue plan, if you have a safety cushion, do you have sufficient insurances? Are you prepared for the unforeseen? We never know what will happen. This is what this card is about. But also this card tells you, are you ready for financial turmoil? And if not, is it possible that you prepare yourself? And how will you prepare yourself? So this card is about insurances. Is your income stable? Is your car correct? Is it secured? Is it maintained? So these are all things here that are connected to this card. But especially we need to prepare ourselves if irregularities would come into your life. This is what this card is about. So prepare yourself. It's not sure that this will happen, but it's also not sure it will not happen. This card is about uncertainties. So reflect over those things you cannot foresee and act in control and avoid the unforeseen. The second card here is about most of us pay with credit card these days. We lost control over money. We don't have actually money in our hands anymore. So sometimes we lose track about the real value of money. We use the credit card and we don't actually have a feeling with the money in itself. The difference is if we actually have money in our wallet, then we take the money out of the wallet and we give to the cashier. There's a big difference there, because every time you take the money out, it creates a pain signal that we have in our brain. And with the credit card, we don't have this because we have no feeling. If we take it out, we see that the money in our wallet, it gets less. But with the credit card, we have no feeling. We don't have. So this card tells you if you pay cash, you will regain a better control over your finances, and it asks you to pay cash. This is what it wants you to get better control over your money. If we see this, it's no coincidence, for instance, that traders and banks want us always to pay cash, because then we come in the consumption circle. We have no more overview, and it will be their ultimate dream to eliminate paper money, because then we would spend more, there will be total control, and we will come in a society that will even consume constantly more. So for them, virtual payment is essential for their business. But this card tells you to do the opposite. Take charge of your wallet, pay cash for your purchases for a week or 4, and you will see that you will have improvement in your life. And this card asks you, are you ready for this challenge? The last card is the card about heritage, about inheritance, and the way that some of us rely on other people for money. This card has two faces. Um, Here we see that it's unrealistic that we depend on our pension, for instance, solely on an inheritance that we get from our parents, even if we are an only child. Why is this? Well, as we know, people get older, and as your parents get older, they will probably live much longer, but they will also need more needs for maintaining themselves, for their survival conditions. And of course, we cannot blame them. So they will probably get 75, 80, 85. Some of them even get 90. So it's possible that your anticipation for these monies will be less than expected. This is a common fact now. Then we need to take in consideration also people stay longer healthy, and sometimes they go in second relationships, and who knows, they will not succumb to the 20-year younger neighbor that lives to next them, or Cupid they met on the internet. We never know, and maybe they will take this person as their as the person they give their inheritance to. We never know what is happening if they will not succumb to this person. This at expense of the descendants. So here, this card tells us to take care of ourselves and not to rely on our parents or others for money. We need to take care of ourselves. So this card tells you to plan your old days independently. And even if you have very few, you are already have one because you have planned your future. So Virgo, for the fire group, this is all for this month. I hope you enjoyed this card reading. If you did, please subscribe to my channel. Thank you for doing so. Thank you also for watching my other videos, the classic Lenormand videos. If these card readings don't fit you, just check out the other three that are connected here also. Anyway, thank you for your time. Thank you for watching, and see you next time on my channel. Bye-bye for now.